let's take a moment and talk about the spine. And more specifically, let's talk about the 5 movements of the spine. Now, I want to be clear. Your spine is not something you should be scared to move. You shouldn't be thinking your spine is fragile, right? I know it gets talked about, oh, don't do that with your low back, or watch how you lift this, do all that kind of stuff. Your spine in and of itself is a strong and sturdy structure. Now, it's important to understand the anatomy of it. It's important to understand the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons that help move it and bind it and support it. But it's important as teachers to understand the 5 movements, because we need to move the spine. We need it to be able to be mobile. We need it to be able to get through all the different movements that it can do. So there's 5 of them. What we have is the obvious ones. We have flexion, forward folds, okay? We have extension, think back bending. We have rotation of the spine. We need the spine to be able to rotate, right? Think twisting. We have lateral flexion, think side bending, okay? We need the spine to be able to do this. And then the last one's not as obvious. But what I want you to think of, it's like an upward lift of the spine. Technically, it's called axial extension, but I want you to think of it as like an upward lift. It's a decompression of the spine, right? What happens a lot when we sit all day and stuff kind of gets pushed, bunched in together. We need to be able to lift up. Think mountain pose, right? We're always trying to find Tadasana and most of the postures that we do, right? We want to find that upward lift of the spine to get the spine into a more of a lengthened out position, okay? So, in my upcoming training, my advanced teacher training coming in Dublin, we spend a lot of time on the spine. Module 2 specifically is on the core and the spine, because even though it's not a fragile thing, we need to learn how to move it. We need to know what muscles move it. We need to know what ligaments move it, support it. We need to know how this whole thing works, because it is an important, load-bearing, moving part of our body that we shouldn't be scared of, but we need to have the proper education on how to actually move the thing. So join me coming up. The training starts in March. Join me for it. We're going to spend a lot of time in Module 2 on this guy right here.